aka QB Crossing, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be working on a villager house and showing you guys how I place the houses, how I terraform and decorate a villager house, giving you guys some ideas of what you can do also. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on my content. And if you're interested in watching me build the Springcore island live, I am live on Twitch 4 times a week, so definitely check me out there. The link is in my description of this video. So basically what I'm doing now is checking out how much I need to increase this cliff that I already have Daisy's house on. I want to be sure that I could fit another house behind her and have enough room to do some terraforming. I think a sunken waterfall to the right would be cute, so I want to play around with that. And then I am going to place some pathing down so I can get an idea of how the placement looks of the second house that I want to add. I really like to do this because it helps me visualize what the house is going to look like there, as well as see it on my map. So what I'm doing now is creating a 4x4 square that is the size of the house plot, and then I like to open up the camera app and see how I feel about the placement and how it's looking on the map as well. So you'll see I'll kind of move things around until I'm happy with that. And then once I do place it, we will get into terraforming and decorating the outside of the villager house. So once I have the villager house placed, the first thing I like to do is figure out the pathing that I want leading up to the house. I think this helps figure out the aesthetic of the area that I'm working on, but it also helps frame the space so then I can figure out what I want to do on the left and right sides of the house. So after I get this pathing down, I'm going to put some custom codes on each side to try to block out some shapes of where I think we could do some furniture items or terraforming. So I start over here on the right, and then I quickly decided that that space is so small that I don't really want to do a seating area over there, but instead I'm going to try to make a mini sunken waterfall. I also think this will be nice because it might add some depth to the space so that the cliff is not so flat where Callie's house is. And then to the left, I can see just by putting the little bit of that lace rug there that it'll be nice to have a little furniture setup of some sort there. And I'm just gonna continue now with this little sunken waterfall, figure out the waterscaping and terraforming over here. And then once I'm happy with it, I'll get back to decorating on the left side of Callie's house. So now that I'm happy with the terraforming on the right side, I'm going to start crafting some items that I think might work or fit the aesthetic of Callie's house. So basically my process here is just crafting a bunch of things, taking a lot of furniture from my storage that I think fits the general vibe of what I'm going for, and then I'll place some different combinations and see what's working. So this is really a lot of trial and error, but once I figure out the furniture that's going here, it will really help tie the whole space together, and then I can decorate around that. After looking at some different table options, I realized that I like the table with cloth with the custom code on it the best. So I'm going to clean up all the custom codes that were down on the ground, put a little bit of a picnic blanket, figure out the size of that and what code I want on the picnic blanket, and then I will replace the table and figure out the other furniture that will go on the table and around it. And that will just be a lot of placement of items until I find something that is working that I'm happy with. A lot of times when I'm designing, I'll pan around with the camera to get an idea of the full space and how the full composition is looking. And I decided that instead of adding a lot of trees to close off this area, I wanted to break up the two houses with some waterscaping. I think that this will feel a little bit different and less dense than filling this all in with either cliffs or trees. So what I'm doing now is just trying to make a stream of water connecting to the right sunken waterfall as natural and skinny as possible. And this is definitely the hardest, I think, tool to use in the game, especially when you're trying to get the curved, natural look of your stream. So definitely you'll see me mess up a few times, but it will all be worth it in the end. Once I got a rough shape of the water, I still have to fix it and fill everything in. I also start placing some trees because I know those are my next biggest item of this build. So if I can get the placement of the trees right, then it's really just about filling in everything else. And that is the fun part. So here you can see I'm going to try a bunch of different items on the table, different seating combinations, and then different flowers and ground pathing all throughout the left side of this cliff until I find something that is just right. So I tried a lot of different combinations of items on the table until I found something I was happy with. I also made the mistake of placing flowers behind the garden bench a little bit too early. So every time I had to move the garden bench, I had to dig up the flowers so that I could get it back in its right position. I don't regret this because I like seeing flowers when I'm working on a space. It helps me imagine how the whole composition of the area is looking, but it was definitely a little bit annoying to have to keep digging them up and planting them again. So once I'm happy with the setup of the table, I will start doing some other furniture setups. I'll probably do something by the tree behind the house, and then some more little items, maybe Zen piles or mush logs, anything to kind of give some height and interest, visual interest to the space on the left and right sides of the path to Callie's house. So for this area here, I decided that I wanted to do a stunted tree to the left of that larger cedar tree. I thought this would look nice to have some differentiation in height, and it's not as hefty as a big full-size tree. So if you do want to do a stunted tree, all you have to do is plant a tree, get it to the growth stage that you like, dig it up, put it wherever you want, and then plant a single piece of fruit directly behind the tree. Any fruit will work except for a coconut, so I highly recommend this if you also want some differentiation in sizes of trees. I'm now just increasing the size of this bottom cliff so that I can make the cliff on top of it with that higher level waterfall a little bit bigger. I'm also going to put a tree up there, so I needed some more space to work with. And then I'll add some flowers and finishing touches to this little baby cliff that we have here. So I now realize that I want to fill in the space from Daisy's house to Callie's house. So I am just filling in some items on top of this table for Daisy so that this whole residential area is complete, and I needed to at least fill that in since I only really had part of Daisy's house done. And I will also fill in some custom codes to make a clear path from Daisy's to Callie's, and then clean up a lot of these flowers and add some finishing touches over here as well. So at this point, I'm pretty happy with the overall build. There's just some little things that I want to fix. So I'm adding a mush log over here because I felt that the right side of this build was feeling a little bit flat. So I wanted something to give it some height. And then I'm gonna switch out this cedar tree with a shorter cedar tree. So I have a large young cedar tree, so it's at a smaller growth stage. It still gives us that height, but it's not as big and wide as the full cedar tree. And then as you can see, I just picked up a cherry so that I can plant it right behind this tree so that it doesn't grow anymore. And just some little things that I saw that I wanted to fix. So I had an orange flower over there that was kind of sticking out. So I'm filling it in with more white flowers with the greens and the lighter colors like the light orange of the hyacinth and the yellow tulips. I want to kind of keep the color palette really cohesive and not have anything sticking out that feels jarring. I'm feeling much more happy with the left side of Callie's house now that I added in those extra items like the rattan table and the Zen cushions. But as I zoomed out, I did notice some empty areas. So I'm going to fill in any empty areas of grass with weeds, flowers, or custom codes and items wherever I can fit them. So we're almost done with this build. I'm just gonna go through and make sure that I'm not leaving any areas or little pieces of this empty. Okay, so here we are in the final build. I'm really happy with the terraforming and the decoration. I zoomed out just to show you a better view of the full area. I'll also zoom in over here because I'm really happy with how this little seating area for Callie came out. I think it feels really cozy and cute. I'm just really happy with how it looks. So I'm just gonna walk around and show the full villager area. This is Daisy's house, which we already had when we started the video, but we added in some pathing leading over to Callie's. We did all this terraforming, the sunken waterfall, and the decor around her house. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.